this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Good morning, everybody. This is Terry.
I'm Trey.
And this is Get It Right Texoma. Thanks for joining us. And with the trio here, we got, of course, Mike always keeping an eye on us.
Mike Hendren, right here.
Right, yeah, right here.
You know those stupid vacation pictures that everybody tries to hold up like the Eiffel Tower
Yeah.
or the Tower or the Giza Pyramid or something like that? There's Mike Hendren right there.
Yep, he's always
there
we go. So I can.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
he's always with us.
That's right. He's always here. He's probably keeping eyes, laughing of it all over the place.
You big dummies.
Yeah. So anyway, so we've got Friday morning. Always we're here
live at 7:30 every Friday morning on Facebook and YouTube.
Yep.
And this morning's guest, I mean, most of the time we have guests.
Yep.
Occasionally we don't.
Yep.
But this morning's guest is Wichita County Commissioner Mark Beauchamp.
Beauchamp, and it's Beauchamp.
It looks like Beauchamp, but it's Beauchamp.
Well, I got to ask him about that if he knows the history of that, because it's one of those names, those words that, like, if you didn't
there's
know
no way you're going to say it right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
no way.
Beauchamp. I don't know how you get there. But anyway, please comment and share, like, and all that good stuff, because we'd like to get the word out with your help, and let us know. And so let's get into it. This is Get It Right Texoma.
That's right.
So what do we got first?
Well, local restaurant focus, like we always do, is Texas Best Barbecue and Burgers. They've been around for quite some time in their location on Southwest Parkway.
Yeah.
They're on the corner of Maplewood and Southwest Parkway.
Right.
They're in that shopping center right there, but they face Maplewood.
Right across from what you got, Pioneer
and McBride's and all that.
Yeah. Right on the corner.
Great food, really good barbecue, really good. Their sides, their chicken fried steaks are really good, but their burgers are phenomenal. It is so amazing to me how many good burger places we have, local burger places we have in Wichita Falls. Yeah. I mean, we've highlighted and it's like, well, this one, and then this one, and who I don't even know what my favorite is, because they're so good, and they're all comparable as far as quality goes. But you might have a favorite. You might say, oh, I like the beanie burger over at Willie's, or I like the porky over at Pat's. That's kind of how I kind of go. It's like, oh, I like the smash burger over here at Ronnie's, or the pretzel bun at Ronnie's, or whatever. So, but Texas Best Burgers and Barbecue, great burgers, great people, great sides,
and great hours, because they're open all the time.
Pretty much they're open every day.
In the morning, they lunchtime, early lunch, and then till 9 or 8. Every night except Sunday is 9 o'clock, so it's 8 p.m.
And you can see some of their pictures that they have right there. Yeah. It's phenomenal. I mean, the food. And by the way, these aren't these bullshit pictures like you get with Burger King or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
where it's painted and fake and all that.
Yeah, and they spray it.
This is real food that they really cooked and really took pictures of.
Yeah.
So when you go and show up, that's what you get right there.
Yep.
And if that doesn't look appetizing, I don't know what else.
Oh, kids eat free on Tuesday.
And kids eat free on Tuesdays.
All right. So
I'm sure you got to buy an adult meal. I'm sure there's something to that. Yeah. Don't just send your little snot nose kids over there just to get a free burger.
With the parents, yeah.
Yeah.
But now they got fried pies, man. But anyway, but don't forget about their barbecue. I mean, I guess
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they have really good barbecue.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a
cater
while.
As well. They do catering as well. So, and I don't know if they go to your place, or they'll just do like a large amount and you go pick it up.
Is this related to the jerky?
Yes.
Okay. So it's the same folks. Okay.
Yeah, cool. I don't think that's a nice thing to call them jerky. I don't think that's very nice.
Well,
so Texas Best Meats. There you go. It's the Texas Best Meats is the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Seymour Highway. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, cool.
Texas Best Barbecues, Burgers,
check them out.
Meats, and jerky.
Yeah.
Check them out.
All right. So,
next up for your for a little ambiance in Valentine's Day, which Valentine's Day falls on a Saturday. I guarantee you every restaurant in town is going to be packed. But there's actually something very interesting at the Royal Theater in Archer City, Texas, which Archer City, if you're not from Wichita Falls, is a little community. It's probably 25, 30-minute drive, 30-minute drive or so. There's a guy named Larry McMurtry who wrote he wrote Lonesome Dove, but he also wrote Texasville.
Right.
And Texasville became a movie with Sybil Shepherd and Jeff Bridges way back in the 80s, I believe, 70s, maybe the 70s. And it was filmed in Archer City, mostly. And then there was a Texasville 2, a remake, that was filmed in Wichita Falls in the very late 80s.
Oh.
Because it was when I was a senior in high school, I believe, or a freshman in college. So anyhow, it's called the Texasville Opry. So it's going to be love through the decades. So I think it's going to be love songs and that sort of thing through the decades. So it's one of those things, if you go by yourself, you're probably a weirdo. Take your date with you. Take your sweetie there. And but they're going to have songs from the I was reading that. But
there we go.
Yeah. It's right there on the square. It's right there on the square. It's still around the Royal Theater, but they're going to have songs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
and beyond.
And
so there's a little something for everybody is what
there you
they
go.
say. Yeah, so there you go. All right.
Check it out.
Yeah,
I don't. You might want to call ahead. I don't know if there's still tickets available. I don't know if there's seats available. Just don't know enough.
Yeah,
and it's tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
So don't just show up there and hope you're going to get it. Call ahead and make sure.
Yeah, make sure. There you go.
Next, we got some a little bit of sad news. Not a little bit of sad news, really a lot of bit of sad news. We actually lost two very important people to the WFISD this last weekend. Reverend Reginald Blow, who was one of my mentors on the school board and served on the school board for 17 years in Wichita Falls, including board president. He was publisher of the North Texas Journal and pastor of the New Hope Church. And he started in his position in 1999 is how long, that's when he started serving on the school board. Really good person, District 2. And the one thing that I really respected about Reggie, there's a lot of things I respected, but one thing I really respected about Reggie and a value that he and I both shared was justice. Reggie was big into justice, and he fought hard for the residents of District 2 to make sure that they were seen, they were heard, and then they got justice. District 2 is a large low-income minority district.
Right.
And mine was District 5, which was the very north end of town, and our districts butted up with each other. Right. We had a lot of the same constituency or same families and stuff. And so Reggie and I worked very closely together while we were on the school board to make sure that everybody got a voice. And that's one of the reasons why there are districts in a town the size of Wichita Falls. Smaller towns, if you're on the school board, it's like everybody's at large. I mean, because there's really no district set up. Well, Wichita Falls is a large enough city with very unique demographics in different areas of the city that there's districts, because if there weren't, then you would have a very select few people from one district, from country club or whatever, who basically were school board members.
Right.
So when you have these different districts, you have people like me. Nobody knew the hell I was. I was some dope from the north part of town. But I was involved. I was involved in school, and I got involved in the school board. Reggie was the same way. Reggie was more well-known than I was outside of his district, but he was very well-known in his district. So, but really a great man, a great leader, and the only black person to serve as a president of the WFISD, by the way. Okay. And then Herby Carr passed away, and a lot of people, if you're from Wichita Falls and you went to school in Wichita Falls, especially if you went to Wichita Falls High School, you probably know who Herby Carr was. If you went to school in the last 50 years, he spent 48 years in the WFISD. With a coach, educator, like a teacher, administrator, a counselor, and a principal. Right. And then he also did some work with administration downtown. So I got to work I knew Mr. Carr when I was in high school, and then I got to work with, that's him. Okay. And I got to work with him on when I was on the school board. And he's just one of those people. When you're in education that long, and when you run across that many people, you're bound to piss people off. Well, you just are. Yeah. You're going to make people that aren't happy. Not saying you're wrong, just saying you're not happy. I never, ever heard one person say they didn't like Mr. Carr. Not one. I never heard anybody say He was a bad dude. He didn't listen to me. He was unfair. Nothing. Never heard a negative word about Herby Carr. And that's pretty amazing when you have that. So 2 local legends in the WFISD, both of them gone. And just they were both really good people, served different roles. Obviously, Reggie on the volunteer side from the school board, the administration side, and Herby as an educator. And so, anyhow, both of them great people, and they'll be sorely missed.
Okay. Well, then, all right. Well, let's go on to whatever the next thing. Yes. So, if somebody offered you $1,000, would you take it?
Yep.
Okay. But you can't take it, this one, because it is for the kids.
But let me ask you, if you were having a child and somebody offered you $1,000, would you take it? For your child?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're damn right
you
would.
And
I'd be more likely to take $1,000 for my child than I would myself.
Right. Yep. And probably, depending on the circumstances, you might even just give it to them because you don't need it necessarily. If you've got it catch you at the right time. But in this case, I guess, so what children, so it's just anything under 18. So I guess, so you have to claim it, I guess.
Well, I think the $1,000 is only going to be put in certain accounts. You have to be born within a certain span.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, they're not going to give $1,000 to everybody under 18.
Well,
they couldn't do it. They couldn't fund it.
Here it is.
Yeah,
here it is. Okay.
For every child born between January 1st, 2025.
And
so
December
kids
31st.
that are already born are going to get this.
Right.
And December
up through
of
2028. Yeah.
2028.
So starting last January through 2028.
I think this was funded in the omnibus bill, the big beautiful bill or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's where it's funded. And I hope this is a place that our government keeps going. I don't mind. I don't like when the government sends out checks.
Right.
But I don't mind the government going, okay, we're going to have every American child get an account in their name. And by the way, it's $1,000 is what's going to be put in.
Right.
$1,000. If you never contribute to it, it's going to add up to something.
Yeah, and there's a calculator
you can start
down here.
right. You can go on their website and you can see what. There you go, right there, word calculator.
So at
contributing at $0 a year.
Contributing $0 a year at age 18, it'll be $6,000.
Yeah.
So it'll 6 times.
Yeah.
So if you did $250 a year,
which is not much.
Right. That's what $21 or something.
Yeah.
20.
It'd be $19,000.
Wow. And if you contributed, if you're able to somehow squeeze in
5,000, which is a bunch.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about it, there are a lot of these very rich philanthropists that celebrities and stuff that have dedicated and said, we're going to help fund some of these accounts.
Right.
Michael, Susan Dell, they kind of are the ones that really started this.
Right.
I go back to, and I'm critical of Trump when I think Trump should be critical, or his administration.
Yeah.
There are groups that have been trying to get this done. Michael Dell has been trying to do this
Right.
4 years. By the way, Michael Dell Computers, if you don't know who he is, big name in the computer business, multi-billionaire from Texas, by the way, Texas guy, former educator. Mm-hmm. Started Dell Computers while he was still teaching. In fact, he was at the Texas Education Conference in the 70s selling shares for this new computer business, for like $25 a share or something like that.
Right.
So anyhow, they've been trying to get this done. They finally found the right person in the White House that was saying, "Hey, yeah, this makes sense. Let's do it."
I mean, I don't know. See, here's the other side of it. This is such, we're stuck with Social Security, if that's even going to be.
Or let's call it so-so security.
So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll be there, maybe it won't.
And then it draws 1% or 2% or something ridiculous.
I don't think it's going to be around when I get to that age. I really don't believe so.
Well,
I'm 54 right now.
Well, I don't know what. So I'm 60, and I'm not eligible yet. In 2 years, in theory, I guess I could.
Yeah.
But I don't see any reason to take it.
Yeah.
Because then you take less,
Right. Yeah,
but
you're going to wait.
Of course, I'll talk to somebody to figure that out. But, I've earned it. Even being in the military, I paid Social Security.
If you paid into it, you earned it. I'm all about that.
Now, you'd probably know more about this than I would. were you on the school board, or was it prior to your tenure that when the teachers that had there was something about,
I was on the school board,
right, when there was a change in the state or the federal, or something changed somewhere, that because we had some people who were teachers, that's all they ever did, and they were in the teacher retirement fund, but then you had a number of people who actually had contributed and would have otherwise be eligible for Social Security, but they weren't able to get it.
Yeah, there was a whole big controversy.
Yeah, was that a Texas thing, or was that?
I think it's a Texas thing.
Okay,
I think it was a Texas thing. But in my opinion, if you contributed, you ought to get something. Right. Now, the problem is, I think it ought to be based on what you earned.
Well, yeah,
and I think to some degree it is, but there's some benefits in there, I think, that aren't.
Well, no, the more you only contribute if you're a billionaire. You've maxed it out. You're not.
By the way, I think
more.
There's a point where you should not be able to get it.
Well,
I know that's not fair, but what's the difference? We put up with paying extra taxes because you make more money. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I actually think it would make sense to say, okay.
I think they need to scrap the whole thing.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But nobody's got the balls to do it. George Bush tried to do it, and it was political suicide for him.
Yeah.
So my point is, I agree. I think at some point, if you earn over a certain amount of money, you should not get to draw Social Security. Right. You forfeited it. I know you paid into it, blah, blah, blah. And if you ever hit hard times, you can go back and file for it. Yeah. But I just don't see millionaires.
You lose your billions.
I just don't see multi-millionaire people being able to draw Social Security.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's still the same thing. I say we pay more taxes. If you make $100,000 a year, you accept that you're going to pay more in taxes than somebody who makes $50,000 a year, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So you accept that. So if you accept that, why would you accept the other?
Yeah. Nah, I get it. I understand that. But either way, this is a good deal. This is a great,
and this isn't taking Social Security's place.
No,
this is an addition to it.
Right, because if the child will then imagine what it would be after that, even given $250 a year or $100 a month, $1,200 a year, and then and teach them and have an opportunity. Now, here's my only concern, and I'm not sure what to say about this, but and I guess it's better than nothing. So at 18, let's say this is every child gets this. Now, is this going to be automatic? That's what I'm curious.
I don't know all the details. If you want to know more, we can't sit here. I mean, it would take us hours.
Well, but
it won't matter. Nobody's listening that much.
No, but
seriously, but if you're serious, the whole thing about it is I want people to be aware of it. Go on the website, trumpaccounts.gov, right? Go on the website and find out all the information. Right. If it applies to you, if it doesn't apply to you, it really doesn't matter.
Right. Well, but if you don't have
kids, you don't have grandkids.
I'm still interested in it. But bottom line is, you actually there's a new form you fill out and claim it. So you do have to claim it. So
sure.
One of my concerns is hopefully somebody will be coaching parents and things to do this. But then what happens at 18? With I don't know.
I guarantee there's going to be a whole cottage industry that's going to be born out of this.
Yeah,
financial planners who are targeting these people, and I say target, I don't mean that in a negative way.
No.
But they're becoming an expert in this area.
Right.
So that'll happen.
All right. Cool.
All right. Moving on. The Clintons agreed to testify in the House Epstein investigation because they were threatened with contempt of Congress, which you can go to the pokey. Right. So former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton agreed to testify to a House investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's bullshit.
Will it be how much Fifth Amendment do you think they'll pull?
Who knows? I don't know. But
as long as they show up, they can start claiming Fifth Amendment.
That's right. And they may do that. They may do that. But James Comer, who's head of the House Oversight Committee, was moving forward with advancing criminal contempt charges against the Clintons, and they say, whoa! So they're taking this shit seriously. They're taking this seriously, and so their lawyer started negotiating, and they're going to negotiate available dates. Because at first they blew Congress off, and Congress said, "Hold my beer." Comey did. That's the one thing I will say. I'm proud of the Republicans for growing a little bit of a spine, and going, you know what? Hang on. You were told to, instead of going, Republicans have been so milquetoast over the years.
Yeah.
Look, that doesn't, when you grow a spine, it doesn't mean you bully people. It just means you don't allow yourself to be bullied.
Right.
That's the thing. You being strong, it's just like our country. Having a strong military, having a presence and all that, doesn't mean we go to Uganda and say, hey, Uganda, we're going to kick your ass if you don't do whatever. But it means that Uganda, you don't come to us to talk shit.
Yeah.
Because we can kick your ass. We're not going to,
right,
unless you force it.
Well, it's
and that's how the Republicans need to get is, look, I'm not going to kick your ass unless you make me.
Right. Well, it's like being a responsible and capable person in a lot of ways. You don't always have to pull do the hard thing, but you need to be capable of it, and people need to understand that. And
exactly. Yeah.
And if you have a reputation of being a pushover, people will take advantage.
You're absolutely right. There are people who can take advantage of you.
Yeah. So okay, cool. Well then, all right. So then,
the Wichita Falls City Council.
Yeah.
They've tabled a decision regarding a proposed 98-acre data center development at Airport Drive in I-44. And anyhow, so you can.
Now, Brad Altman, he's okay. That's the attorney.
Yeah.
From Altman Legal Group.
Nix, yeah.
Yeah. It used to be Altman Nix.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Seeking approval for the project, which includes 9 buildings. So is he part of this?
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
He must be.
And then so planning and zoning. So basically, they just want to make sure of the capability that how much they need to look into a little deeper how much control they're losing by doing this rezoning.
Yeah,
or is it a rezoning or just a variance?
I'm assuming it is. It
full
says right there,
rezone,
rezoning the property.
Okay. So that
as an industrial.
Yeah, so that's a big deal that because there have been a lot of things brought up, especially in Graham. There's a crypto mine there, and that's what a lot of people. This isn't supposed to be the same thing.
Right.
However,
this is not allowed. This is a data center.
A real data, right?
Yeah.
But that's where. But there's a lot of misinformation being spilling over into any data center is the same as crypto, and it's the same as the old data centers. So really, at some point, you've just got to decide either you're going to do it, allow it, or you're not, or determine whether or not you can even control it. Because right now there may be laws on the books that don't allow it, so the city would have to get busy, getting some new ordinances going if they're going to control it.
Don't we want to bring business into Wichita Falls?
Well, there's that.
And here's my thing on this stuff. You can have all these concerns, but unless somebody can come to you with concrete evidence and say this is going to be disruptive, quit I think it may not be.
Right.
Let it happen. And then if they start being disruptive, don't allow any more of them.
Right. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Here's I think is really the mistrust. There have been a lot of things brought up about it and talked about that they were promised various things at these various locations, and yet that didn't follow through, and they were promises made, and it's not what they thought. So now we're asking questions. Like one is, I want to know, is it really the water? Is it because it's a closed loop system? Really, how much water is going to be used? And then if we can believe that, we need to have somebody else come in and testify or provide the information.
Verify what they're saying.
Because there have been promises made or statements that said that it was supposed to be this way, and they went back on it, and it turned out worse, and everything. So I think that's one of those things where we just have to be careful. And I'm trusting that, and maybe we'll, we got Mark here, and maybe he has an opinion or two on that. But although they're not, may not be the ones directly doing it, but it is in Wichita County. So. But anyway, the mayor, everybody else will ask those questions as this goes on.
Absolutely. So. Well, Mark's here. Before he gets in, we got one more sad thing to talk about.
Man.
The death of an era.
Oh.
Yeah. Minute Maid frozen orange juice concentrate is going away.
Oh, man.
Yes. Since 1946, how many of us have enjoyed that sweet frozen crack for kids?
Did you ever eat it like ice cream?
Hell yes. Is the Pope Catholic?
Yeah, there
Are
you
you
go.
kidding
It's
me?
it was so, man,
it was
puckered
so
you up.
sickly sweet. Yeah. Make you want to slap your grandma. It was so sweet. But Minute Maid, so they've had orange juice since 1946, and then they've had concentrates in Canada. They've had various varieties, orange juice, lemonade, and limeade.
Yeah.
Will all be discontinued in April, and the available inventory will go while supplies last.
While supplies
But
last. Okay.
I challenge you to find somebody who grew up in America that never, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and probably 90s, who never had any of this concentrate. I mean, it was a staple at our house because it was cheap. All you had to do is get water. I mean, it just cost a little bit more than making tea.
And also, it was hard to, do all the things. You'd have to squeeze your own juice and everything.
Yeah.
But now we have much better transportation systems, better packaging and all that we actually have on the shelf ready to go. It's expensive, comparatively, because imagine how being a concentrate, there was actually a very efficient way of.
Yeah, I agree, but I think people are being a little bit more conscious about good quality foods and just saying, you know what, it may cost a little bit more, because the problem is people can get so hung up on pricing. Mark, come on in while we're doing it. People can get so hung up on pricing that they're worried about saving nickels. Yeah, and sometimes it's like, I saved 30 cents on that, and you go, yeah, but it was $1. So how much did you save? I mean. Yep. Or 30%. People get caught up in percentages.
Yeah, no, I know.
By the way, look at how much your real savings. I mean, it's the same as gas. I've known people, and my granddad, my mother's dad was this way. He would drive an extra 15 miles to save 3 cents a gallon on gas. It doesn't pencil out.
I've got 17-gallon tank, and there's
do
20.
The math.
Yeah,
especially in 1973 and his Chevy with a 350 in it.
At 50 cents or whatever a gallon,
Yeah, just do the math when if you want to. You don't want to hair lip the Pope. I mean, you want to make sure it's convenient for you, but don't inconvenience yourself and all that. Look to see how much it's going to cost you to fill that tank up. Yeah. And sometimes I saved money. Yeah, you saved 42 cents.
Yeah.
Is your time worth anything?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So here we go.
That's what we call penny wise and pound foolish.
There you go. All right, we have.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good. How are y'all this morning?
Good. Mark Beauchamp. What do you have on your shirt? Stronger Together.
Yes.
I was looking to see what button it was. It wasn't Ice Out.
Texas Association of Counties.
Yeah. It wasn't Ice Out. I just wanted to make sure.
No.
I know.
So before we get started, you have one of those names that if you look at it and you didn't know otherwise, you wouldn't know how the heck to pronounce it. So what is it from? What's
the etymology?
So there's two branches. There's the French branch. We're from the English branch. So it goes way back in time. So the 11th, 12th, 13th Earls of Warwick were Beauchamps.
Actually, by the way, I've been to Warwick Castle. Yeah. I spent the night in Warwick, England.
Thank you. You've been to my homestead.
That's it. Are you a Warwick for real?
I actually traced back to that line.
Yeah.
So
it's a fascinating castle.
Actually claim that somehow it skipped several generations, and I'm left here. But.
Real quickly, if it's a fascinating castle, Warwick, England is kind of in the center of England. It's a great little community, and they have this castle. And the castle, the River Avon, the Avon River runs right behind it. You can see it, but the castle has grown for years. The original keep is up on a hill, and it was like from the 1100s or the 10s or 9s or something. And then what you see is the main part of the castle now was built over a couple of centuries way back when. So, but Warwick Castle, if you ever get a chance to go to Warwick Castle in England, it's one of the best preserved castles.
Wow. So we actually have one of the towers of London is Beauchamp Tower, actually.
Okay.
So, and
I've been there too.
It's pronounced Beauchamp in England, so that's where.
I guess I never caught that. The only tower I remember is the White Tower, because it was built in 1046. Yeah. Was the original tower of the Tower of London was the White Tower. The Tower of London, by the way, is a castle. People call it the Tower of London.
Yeah, but there's several towers.
But there's several towers that make a castle. There is a keep there. It's hard to see from the street side, but if you go on the river and take a river cruise, or go on the other side, like if you're at the HMS Belfast, which is one of their battleships that's on the River Thames there, you look across, you can tell that the Tower of London is a castle. Oh. Okay. So and the other side is, how do you say the French side? Is it
Beauchamp?
That's why, yeah.
So it would have to been after 1046 that they split.
Absolutely. And so my family goes back that far in the split, so back in around 1100s.
Do you know when your family came to America?
Absolutely do. So my whatever great grandfather was actually a part of the Plymouth Company, and he was. I like to say he was one that brought the King James Bible to America because he was appointed to the Plymouth Company by King James. So, So, thusly, he probably got some King James Bibles onto the Mayflower.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
But he wasn't the first one here. Actually, his son was, and his son was a county clerk in Massachusetts.
Oh, there's a
no,
county.
I'm sorry. I said Maryland. I'm sorry. So, I have county.
There you go.
County government goes way back.
Plus, even some of the Earls of Warwick or whatever, they were sheriffs and that type of thing. So we go county government all the way back in the dawn of time.
That's your history lesson. By the way, the Plymouth Fathers, the Pilgrim Fathers, met at a pub to plan this in Billericay, Essex, England, which is my wife's hometown.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, wow. And now it's a real estate place. That's how little English give a crap about history sometimes. Literally, it's the pub that the Pilgrim Fathers met in to come to America. It's been an Indian. It's been a fish and chip shop. It's been an Indian food place. This is it since she and I have been married, and now it's an estate. They call it an estate agent, but a real estate shop.
We would just tear it down,
or it'd be a history, or we would make a big monument out of it.
One or the other.
Yeah.
We're bad about destroying.
All right.
We are, but I think we've gotten better.
Yeah, we have
about that. So anyhow, all right, that's your history lesson for today.
Yeah,
English history.
Yeah. So all right. Well, what
county commissioner?
Yes.
For how? Since when?
This is my third term. I'm in my 10th year.
10th year.
Yeah, working on the 10th year. So.
Right. And so how? When does this term end?
I'm out. Running 2 years from now. So
okay.
Yeah. The next election cycle.
Right. And y'all don't have term limits, right? You can
go
as long as.
And there's some commissioners that have been commissioners since the dawn of time.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They were Jesus's commissioners.
They were.
So anyhow, you're kind of all the commissioners. It seems like y'all kind of have some. You have your districts. You kind of focuses.
Right.
And you seem to be the building guy.
I'm usually the infrastructure guy.
Infrastructure, okay.
This year we're kind of backing off a little bit. I need a break.
You spent a lot of time, so you were really kind of the lead on the sheriff.
Yeah, on the LEC
project. And then also you were kind of the lead, and I say kind of, I mean, I know there was a lot of people involved, but it seemed like you were kind of the lead commissioner on the annex, the courthouse annex renovations. And now the courthouse, or what all is going on at the courthouse now?
Right now, the only thing that's going on at the courthouse is a security project. Our courthouse lacked proper modern security, so we're bringing in the most high-tech security that we could afford.
Yeah, when you have a fat guy named Gus with a 357 on his hip, that's not your high-level security.
We have really nice security. We're controlled access to all the suites. New video surveillance cameras, etc. New lighting. You see lighting going up out in the park, out in the yard and parking lot areas, and just trying to make sure that our staff and our public are totally secure when they enter into our building.
So let me ask you on the courthouse, because some courthouses in Texas are really barely used. So our courthouse, what all is how? You don't have to tell me every little thing, but mostly what all is housed in our courthouse? It's used on a regular basis.
Both of our clerks, all of our court activities except for the outlying JPs at precinct 2, 3, and 4. We have currently our IT office, but they're about to move. We're building them a new suite in the annex right now.
Okay.
So our HR functions, pretty much all the core functions are at the courthouse.
Yeah, they're not at the annex.
Annex takes our auditors at the annex, our tag office, veterans, human services, adult probation are at the annex.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at the I guess it's more than tag office. It's also where you pay your property tax itself. And I was in there on January 3rd. I guess you could have waited till Monday, but I was there on the Friday. And I waited. It was busy, but honestly, I thought it was going to take longer. But they seemed to be a pretty good operation
the
there.
The new system, the way they have it set up, is so efficient, and that's part in design, part in the equipment that we have, and a lot to do with the employees. So everything that we've done over the last several years has been for improved efficiency and better customer service. So
that's good.
I will say, the building itself lends itself to much better customer service.
Yeah.
And 'cause as somebody who's down there a bunch, not me personally, but somebody from my dealership, I mean, obviously, we utilize the tag office pretty regularly.
Yeah. And generally, they're not going to be happy when they're coming into the property tax office. So we want to make it as fast and efficient and smooth transactions as possible. So
that's why the property tax people have glass,
bulletproof
glass.
On this topic, tell us a little bit about what the new constitutional amendment for business property. Business personal property, I guess, is the term, where you fill out the rendition form, and then you fill out. For me, it's my inventory, which then leads to me a $1,500 bill, and I don't have a lot of inventory, but that's what I just wrote a check for $1,500.
Yeah, it's been really good for small businesses like yours.
Right. So how's that going to affect? Where's that money coming from now?
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. So we'll have to wait and see where we are as far as how that evaluation changes in tax preparation. It will change somewhat. We're going to have to make up those funds some way.
I thought the state's not.
The state's not hold harmless on it.
Generally not.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of times they don't, but sometimes they do. I know they do on school. School property taxes and stuff. Yeah.
I'm not 100% up on this yet because we haven't reached that point in our budget year yet.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
I've read through it and try to understand it, but
until it happens,
you guys have a big job. I mean, there's a lot of facets to what you do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, the county judge is the main person that works on the budget, right? I know all of y'all work on it.
We all work on it in our own areas of expertise, and we all contribute, but it is the judge's budget. So.
Right.
Okay. So, well, I was just going to, with all the other, are there any other changes from the last election with the Constitution and everything that affects the county that you know of?
That's a big one. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. No worries.
And
nothing that I'm really too terribly concerned with right now.
I know you've been on before, but just in case somebody's watching, what district are you, Councilor?
I'm Precinct 1. So
which is where?
Which is all the way across the bottom of Wichita County from Wilbarger to Clay County. So we are not in Precinct 1 right here, but if we cross over Kemp Street, we will be. So I go all the way down Southwest Parkway until we get to Kemp, and then I go north. So.
All right. Okay.
And what would you say are the top 3 functions that a county judge in general in Wichita County? I know it's different from, like, the county commissioners in Clay County. I said judge. I meant commissioner. The county commissioners in Clay County, Archer County have different things to focus on than you. But in Wichita County, what are the top 3 things that you would say that every commissioner has to focus on?
Road and bridge that's
everybody.
We go back to road commissioners. I mean, that's where it all kind of
that's in any county, right?
Yeah, any county. Some counties have what's called a unit system where they have an engineer and they pretty much step back.
Probably your bigger, like your Dallas counties and Tarrant counties.
And even counties our size, a lot of them do.
Oh, okay.
But we still choose to do it a hybrid way, so we handle it ourselves. So. But beyond that, budgetary, making sure the county runs smoothly. We have everything that we need to do to function for our taxpayers. So that's our primary function, is to make sure that our taxpayers are being taken care of with all of our core functions, that everyone that's serving them has the things that they need to do to serve them to the best of their ability.
You know, I find it interesting. The Commissioner's Court, y'all have a lot of authority in the county as a group. I mean, you each individually have authority, but then as a group you have even more authority to some degree. But but you don't have authority over other elected official departments.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, which is you would almost think the county court would be like the be-all, end-all, but it really kind of isn't.
Oh, no. No,
talking about like the sheriff's department and that kind of stuff,
or
right?
the tax office,
right.
or whatever. They can like the tax office, they can pick and choose when they're going to open and close.
Absolutely.
They're going to pick and choose the way they do business.
Right.
The only thing we control is the pocketbook.
Yeah, the money. Okay.
So, but we try to work along with our other elected officials to make sure, again, that we're serving the public's best interest, not our own best interest.
So what other? So there's the county judge, or no, I'm sorry. Are there actual judges? The ones, not the county judge, but
right.
the judge positions that are doing court and all that. No, regular court.
District
Court. Okay, yeah, that do the criminal and whatever. Although I guess the county judge can also do a certain amount of that type of work as well, as I understand.
The county judge can do probate hearings, juvenile hearings, and
right.
those sort of things.
I don't think they get into felonies, right? I think
no,
they go into
absolutely
misdemeanors.
not in the county.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, but all the other, but then so you have the elected judges for those. Then you have the constable, the sheriff, and Justice of the Peace. Okay, the JP. Okay, so yeah.
Treasurer.
Man.
Tax assessor, collector.
Yeah, there's a lot of
two clerks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yep, elections clerk as well.
Elections clerk is not an elected position. That's appointed by the election board. So.
Okay. Yep.
Man.
Yeah, we should have learned that from Clay County, huh?
So right.
Anyhow, what would you say has been like the biggest challenge that you've had over the last couple of years in kind of your expertise, the building side of it in the county that you've seen?
Oh, well, there's never an end to the challenges. So
I know there's a lot of them, but sure.
When you're trying to renovate old space and trying to do it efficiently, bringing it up into modern ADA standards is probably the most difficult thing to deal with.
Can be,
yeah.
It's
tough.
You thought it was going to be this much, and then you get in and dig in and go, oh, took that wall down, and oh my gosh, we've got
found asbestos or that we didn't realize was there. All kinds of issues like that.
Right.
It's always a good challenge, but I'm really proud of the efforts that we've put forth so far, and there's more to come. I need a year off. So.
Yeah, well, it really, you guys have really done a great job. I think as much as I hated what they call it, American Recovery Act or whatever, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you to Frank in Walla Walla, Washington, for helping us do our upgrades.
Yes,
you helped contribute to it.
Right.
As much as I don't like that free money, quote unquote, from the government, because it's not, we all pay for it. I do think that I do applaud the county. I believe you guys have done a great job at utilizing that money to take care of projects that we just never could have done in our budget.
Yeah, with those kind of projects, we also did water projects. We purchased ambulances. We purchased a food truck to take Meals on Wheels out into the county, which we never had that ability to before. Right. We used it for a lot of different things, but some of the projects that couldn't have been otherwise was a key thing.
So in the news lately has been all this crap going on up in Minnesota as far as the Somali people, the fraudsters, and of course I'm sure there's
the leaning center.
The leaning center, yes. But they corrected that actually.
Yeah.
They got it changed. But anyway, suddenly all these kids started showing up. But anyway, so I know at the county level, there's y'all have certain amount of, I guess in Texas and in our county, there's some of those kinds of services that are here. How much does the county at your level have anything to do as far as at least some funding or any oversight or any of that, or
for
just
what?
Well, like the transportation things, like the kids, or just medical, all the things that we've been running into up there.
Most, if it's transportation wise,
child care,
that would be at the COG. So we wouldn't handle that directly.
Okay.
So child care, we do support several agencies within the community, like Patsy's House, Foster Parents Association.
Those are partnerships.
But those are partnerships.
Right.
So some of your tax dollars do get sent over to those.
But you're not running it.
No, we're not running it, and we don't run daycares.
But you have oversight.
We don't have oversight over
at all. Patsy's House or anything. You don't have any kind of oversight at all.
We do not have.
It's just a partnership.
It's a partnership.
Okay. So I imagine then that's probably state level stuff. But we see. So I mean, it's like a lot of that stuff that was going on up there or is going on, is that a lot of people saw what was going on but didn't say anything, didn't want to say anything or whatever. What at our level, at your level, as we find out things, do you think that's a thing that we have to worry about here, like they do? Because it's affecting Texas workforce and Workforce Solutions and all those guys are getting really looked at heavily for that.
I think in a community our size, I think if something like that was going on, there would be plenty of whistleblowers, including us, that are out in the community a lot.
Yeah.
We would see that, and we would call time out pretty quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I do think that's one thing I will say, and I've said this over and over. I've said it on the radio. I've said it here. I've said it everywhere. Don't judge government based on what you see coming out of Washington.
Oh, yeah.
We all know it's a fecal matter show up there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the fact is the corruption, the money flying around everywhere, you blaming this person and that person, all that crap goes on up there. And quite frankly, it can be pretty crazy at the state level too. I think when you get to those big levels, there's so much money flying around, sometimes it's hard to keep up with it all. But when you get down to more local levels, and I've been very involved personally and also watching Wichita County, Archer County, Clay County, and the cities, Wichita Falls particular, and the school districts, Wichita Falls particular. I believe that all these, while there's issues everywhere, I believe all of these local governments run very efficiently.
Right. Yeah. Well,
because the people that like you live here.
Yeah.
You don't.
My neighbors are going to find out.
Exactly.
They're going to hold me to the fire.
You don't get to jump in your limousine and jet off to your to your island in the Caymans and then come back and work every day. You live here.
Yeah.
I drove up in my 08 Nissan Frontier this morning.
But on as far as in your almost 10 years on the county commissioner's court, what have you seen anything? Have we enforced the law to the extent that somebody's doing wrong and we get them out, or we fire them, or we punish somebody?
Nothing like that. No. I mean,
or even at a small level. I mean, we've had some things going on, in Clay County with I guess the elections administrator was fired for whatever reason. I don't know all the details there, but anything like that because that's okay. Because if we don't see anything, that's sometimes is wondering if there's really whether or not or we've done a really great job.
Now, we have had some of the local school districts that have had issues, and some of the tax collection, not in the county, but in other agencies, and yes, that has been dealt with. In my time with the courts.
Right. Well, that's
so yes, those things are being looked at. And taken care of.
Good.
One thing when we talked about, as you actually heard us, I think we're still talking about the data center when you walked in.
Yep.
So we understand that this particular data center is in Wichita Falls, but does the county, because it is in Wichita Falls, is in Wichita County, do you guys have some sort of oversight at all over anything that goes on with that data center?
When it's in Wichita Falls, not to the same degree we would have outside in the county itself.
Not the same degree, but do you have some? Are there some?
They haven't come to us yet for any discussion, the data center in particular. What I would personally like for them to do would be to come to us and we can work out a pilot agreement like we did with the solar farm that we just approved.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
A lot of people don't like tax abatements in any form. What that pilot agreement does is give us a guaranteed payment. If you look back at Williamson County, one of the fastest growing counties in the country, down around Austin.
Yeah, it's North Austin.
Yeah, they got the new Samsung plant a few years ago. They didn't structure their deal correctly with them, so as it started to build, they had this huge evaluation, so they lowered property taxes for everyone. And in 1 year, everything kind of halted or whatever, and they no longer could tax Samsung at this high rate, and they couldn't make up the difference, and they were just about to go bankrupt because of a bad agreement. So having a pilot agreement avoids some of that issue. Right?
Explain a pilot agreement real quick.
So a pilot is a payment in lieu of taxes. You forgive a portion of the tax in order to have a guaranteed payment each year of the abatement period. So in our case, it's a 10-year period where we're receiving a guaranteed payment, and if they build more than their amount that they've set for the total project, we get that additional amount. It just abates the improvement. It doesn't abate the land. So in the case of our solar farm, the land was ag evaluation. It automatically goes up to a higher evaluation. We get that off the top, and then we get the pilot payment each year.
So there was an abatement for the solar farm.
For the solar farm.
Okay, but my understanding is the data center, at least the big one out.
They have not asked for one.
They have not. Right.
That's why I said it would be my hope that they would come to us, and we would be able to work something out with them. But so far, we have not heard from the data center.
Okay.
So let me ask you: are there any? I know the city obviously has ordinances and stuff like that when it comes to building and that sort of. Are there county ordinances and things like that that supersede the city's ordinances?
No. Counties have less ordinance power than the cities, although we have over the last couple of years enacted some different orders out into the county with like subdivision regulations. We got a tiny home and mobile home, one that we're working on right now, in preparation for these events that are going to occur, because it sounds like we are going to have data centers, whether they're in Archer County, Wichita County,
right.
Wilburger County. They're all going to affect Wichita County.
Right.
So we're going to see an influx of people. It means like man camps and things like that, real quick pop-up villages. We did get privy to seeing some stuff that happened down in Midland, Odessa, when all that oil boom took place, and it was everything you think about Wild West.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
We don't want to bring the Wild West to Wichita County.
Right.
We want to get a handle on it, so we started working a couple of years ago to get all that in place.
Okay. So the
fact of the matter is, I mean, and you're right, it's going to take some proactive stuff because it's just reality. You get a whole bunch of working class men, mostly men. There's some women out there in the man camps, but it's called a man camp for a reason. It's not called a mixed gender camp. You know, you get a whole bunch of men that are more working class men who are making some pretty good money, are away from home.
Income, with expendable income.
Expendable income, away from home. Family's not around. Girlfriend, wife, or neither, whatever it is, are around. And sometimes debauchery happens. Yeah. And on a larger scale than it should.
Well, it's not just a debauchery. It's how they construct their homes and deal with their sewage and all of those things that you don't even think about.
But we don't want to go back to the times of Warwick when they dumped the sewage from the
and
tower
that's what was
right out of the deal.
In the Midland, Odessa area. They were building open sewage pits.
Right.
So.
Oh, wow.
But if there was an alternative, if somebody had some contractor thought ahead a little bit that maybe create some apartments or some sort of living facility or housing that is a better alternative and affordable.
Well, that's one of the reasons Brad Rogers is working on building that RV park.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're already seeing those things happen around the community.
Okay.
They'll start in earnest, I'm sure, when these things actually start turning dirt.
These RV parks are going to fill up.
But
nice ones.
Right. But planning it well in advance, having the infrastructure in place.
Yeah, having what we need to govern those areas.
The good news about it is, though, this is going to be good for our county and our area, because just like the oil boom, like you talked about, we lost a certain amount of fairly high income earners to West Texas.
Right.
People that were born in Wichita Falls or Wichita County, grew up their whole lives here, went to Burke, went to Iowa Park, went to Henrietta and all that, and lived here and never planned, wife was from here, mom was here, dad was here, never planned on leaving this area, but they went off to work. And after a couple of years of living in a man camp or living in a trailer out there and only getting to come home and see your wife and your kids every couple of weeks or something like that, that shit gets old for a lot of people. And they just go, screw it, I'm moving my family. I'm a family guy. Yeah. I want to be close to my family. I'm going to move my family out there. And what happens when you move a whole family out there, the kids get in school. Yep. They start getting ingrained there. I don't want to move anymore. I'm making a good living. And so I think that that's part of what we're hoping as the royal we is hoping, is that we're going to get these highly skilled construction workers that are going to come to Wichita Falls, Wichita County, which is this area, and go, you know what? this is a nice place to live. I'm just going to move my family here and become Wichitans.
Right.
Or residents.
But in the downside to these data centers is it's going to be an influx of construction for a period of time, whatever that, several years, and then unless there's, there's going to be a big influx, and then there's going to be less work over time. So hopefully there's enough time that we build other things that help support those people.
That's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's going to feed. I think it's just going to feed.
There's steps being taken.
Yeah, we even talked about the mall.
The mall is not a popular subject.
Oh, God.
But,
I think
but
it is.
I think
go to hell if you don't like it. I don't care.
I know.
If you've ever been to a town center concept shopping area, it's a game changer.
No, we want our shithole that was really cool in the 80s.
It's very much a concept
I know.
of the mall, but it's outdoors with big spacious areas.
Exactly.
The events they used to have at the mall.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, every Saturday you go to the mall because there's a car show. There was kids dancing. There was whatever. And it was the place to gather.
Right.
And that's what
you're
we're
right.
Be putting
and the mall died. So let's
That
do something with it. Let's don't let this big, huge, massive building that is probably literally the prime real estate of Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
Go to crap.
Not that long ago, that mall was our highest tax piece property.
Oh, no, absolutely.
It's not anymore.
Oh, no.
So when you talk about they paid over the amount, the appraised amount, it's appraised low because everything's shuttered.
Yeah.
The value goes down when businesses are shuttered.
Well, it was just going to be another. There's plenty of YouTube videos of these guys that are going to these abandoned properties, and most of them right now are malls. And I mean, Sears, the Sears corporate is this abandoned thing, it's a crazy thing. But thinking ahead, and I think it was absolutely an awesome thing that the city did this. But they think that these people are complaining about it, don't realize they've got several, and I don't know if they've already chosen, they just haven't announced it, but whatever it is, through the process, they had several contractors that are choosing from that are going to buy it from them. And the reason they did it partly is because then they can control. The city has a lot more say on how things are going to go.
Exactly.
Otherwise, this is open to the Wild West, and that's not the best thing to do with this biggest property, the best sort of highest value property in town.
Everyone wants a Dillard's, but a Dillard's is not coming to the mall.
They left because of the mall.
Yeah,
they'll come to a new
shopping center.
A new shopping center that's designed in a modern way.
Exactly.
So. Well, I think that's great. I mean, I think I totally agree with what you're saying. I think we're going to get that influx of people. Now some of the people won't stay.
No,
some of the people they grew up.
That's what they did. They moved to the
Dallas
next job.
Or Fort Worth, and I want to live there, or I'm going to jump from job to job.
But
we will have some that stay.
Oh yeah,
and those will be skilled people.
Right.
And that will increase our amount of skilled local residents that can be employed. So on that next job, instead of having to bring 65% of the people in, we might only have to bring 52% of the people in.
Well, and if we bring in 3,000 people just to get, or whatever, I don't even know what the number is, but let's say 3,000 people show up to do this and only a third stay, that's 1,000 people more than we had that are taxpayers. They bought a house or whatever, and so if they can stay after, I'd say, I don't know what the real numbers are, but I was just thinking, because we've talked about this, 1% a year for Wichita Falls, that's 1,000 people a year if you can increase your population.
Some of these higher skilled people will want to stay here. Yeah. It's a good community.
Absolutely.
They get here, build a home, put their kids in school, they're going to want to stay.
And the nice thing about it is it's not just Wichita Falls. They could be in Wichita County, they could be Clay County, they could be in Archer County. But they can work here into this area.
Yeah, absolutely. So whatever happens in Archer County helps Wichita County.
Right. Absolutely. They feed off each other.
Well, do you have anything else that you personally want to get out?
Yeah, kind of what are the top 3 things that you're kind of interested or looking forward to in the next coming up time?
So one of the things that Wichita County is doing this year that we haven't done a real good job of in the past is communication. We want to be as upfront and out and transparent as possible. One of the things we're really pleased with was a couple of weeks ago we approved a new software addition in our clerk's office, which will allow you to do most of your clerk work, county clerk work online. So you can get to your records, you can have certified records and everything done online. But beyond that, we have some title fraud protection with that. It will require the property owner to sign up for that. But it's alert. An alert when anybody files anything on your property, it will automatically alert you.
Well, that'd be
instead
awesome.
of going to all these commercials and paying whatever amount of money you're going to pay to title lock or whatever, it's free.
Yeah,
it's a free service to our public.
If you're a county resident, you're paying for it in your taxes.
If you have a county property owner.
Right. And
even a resident.
So you're paying your taxes every year. There's that little bit of it's going to help pay for this particular thing. You don't have to pay a third
it's not
party.
even tax money. That's the beauty of it.
Oh.
So it's filing. Part of the filing fees go into records management.
Okay.
Okay.
So
it's not additional tax. It's a self-funded.
Yeah, it's a self-funded thing.
Cool.
So,
well, even if it was, I'm just saying,
and it's required that we would collect that by the state. So it's something we have to collect anyway.
Right.
We're putting it to good use,
You're
returning the value back to the public.
Yeah, diverting the funds. Yeah.
And that's some of the push that we're doing this year is to do a better job with our records management, security. Being open and transparent to the public. We've made huge steps in our elections office. Robin's been amazing. I know y'all had her on before talking about the things that she's done. We started our new Facebook and all that page this week. Okay. So we're trying to be out more in the public and communicating. So this is a great tool to do that. So
absolutely.
Well, and so now we're going to have. We're going to have a new county judge because Jim is stepping down. But are we going to have any new commissioners, or is it just county judge?
We could have.
Jeff Watts has an opponent. So there's a potential. We know we're going to have a new county judge,
right?
No matter what, because Jim Johnson's stepping down. We could possibly have a new county commissioner as well.
Possibly.
Okay. So
new court, no matter what.
It's going to be. That was my whole point. And by the way, go out there and do your research.
Please.
If you want to know more about these people and who the next county judge is, and you can vote, go out and do your research. Don't go ask your buddy down the street and all that. There's a lot of information out there on Dawn and Rick and Mark. There's a lot of information on these people. These people. None of these people just showed up yesterday.
No. I'll say this: I've got to meet personally with each of them one-on-one, and I was impressed with each one. They all have something special that they can bring. I don't think we're going to lose, no matter which way we go. So that's a good problem.
Right.
Absolutely,
good problem.
It's good. It's good. I get it if you're running, because I've run for an elected and actually I never ran. I never had an opponent, but I would have had to run if I had an opponent. So, but I've been an elected official before, so I understand it's a pain in the ass to run.
Very much so.
But by the same token, in some ways, it's kind of good that there's more than one person that wants it.
Yeah.
Because you kind of feel like if it's just like, not it, and the last person standing is like, okay, you have to do it. You want people who want these positions and things like that. The main concern, or not concern, but the main thing that we need to make sure is whoever comes in, whether it's a new commissioner and a new judge or just a new judge, is that everybody works well together.
Absolutely.
Because that is very important with that commissioner's court. You need to work as well together as possible.
That's the first question I ask them. So how are we going to work together? And I'm pretty confident that each of the three would bring the same level that we have with Jim and we had with Judge Gossam before. We've always got along pretty well. We have our moments.
Sure.
We get into some pretty good arguments.
There's some passion there, and that's good.
That's okay.
But that's okay. That's government. That's how government should be. Not what we've got in quagmire up in Washington, D.C., where you hate each other.
Yeah. We used to say that. It used to be a term that we used to say when I was on the school board. We can disagree without being disagreeable.
Yeah.
And
we're going to go to lunch, and we're not going to talk about business.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. But also, I think the better boards and things that really do work together, and we've talked about this, is that y'all can fight it out, and then you go through your disagreements, talk about it, and then once the vote's made, though,
you're done.
Then you're supported. Then whatever the vote was, then that's it. So we've got we have a responsibility now to support it. And
I've probably lost as many 6-1 or 5-2 votes in the history of Wichita Falls ISD, and after a whole lot of them, I'd fight like the devil. during our discussion time. But when the vote was called, the vote was called. I voted the way I voted. And then the first thing I do is walk out there and KFDX or KAUZ reporter would stick a microphone in my face and work for the paper and be out there. What do you think about that? And you heard everything I said in there. And I stand by what I said, but I'm going to support the measure. Yeah. The measure's passed, and I support the measure because that's democracy.
That's it.
That's how we do it.
That's it. And there's nothing wrong with voting no and going against the grain. But you have to support the decision of your governing body.
Yeah.
And the good news about having, we're not going to have a wholesale change in the court.
No.
So at least, at worst we're going to have, or I don't mean worse, but you know what I mean. The worst case scenario of change is only going to be 2 people.
Yeah.
And the good news is about the new judge coming in, there's some experience there. You've been around has Barry been around longer than you?
Yeah, Barry and Jeff both have been there longer. Barry's been one more term than Jeff. Jeff's been one more term than me. So we've got pretty well.
And then Mickey's hadn't been there for a coffee break. He's been there for a while now.
He's been there full term and a part of another. So.
Yeah. So the good news is everybody's going to have their style to come in and do things, but it's not like they're going to just show up and not know from day one what's going on.
Right.
They're going to have a lot of guidance and help.
And I'll tell you, county judge is a big job.
Yeah.
It's a nonstop. It could be 24/7 if the judge would allow it to be. Judge Gossam was a 24/7, 365 judge. He was judge in his sleep, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
I had Judge Gossam call me about an issue, nothing bad towards me. It was about something but had to do with county business, and I was literally sitting on a four-wheeler on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, he called.
And he called and talked to me about
Hey, I got this.
Yeah, county business. It was about county business. It wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, well, Mark, thank you very much for coming on.
Always glad to be here.
And really appreciate the work you do. You've been a really, I believe, a steady presence on that court. Watching it from the distance that I've watched, but understanding kind of how governmental bodies work, kind of intimately understanding that. I think that's been something that I think you've excelled at. And there's been some in contentious times, and I know you guys have all had arguments, but it seems like you always need that steady presence, and that you're one of the people that I believe has always given that steady presence on the court.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we'll wrap it up, and so we'll be here next week.
By the way, we'd like to have your rednecks back when you have time. I know you're busy.
We will see you next Friday, 7:30 live.
Well, and actually, we got something going on this Wednesday.
Oh, that's right, we do.
So, got a phone call.
Yeah.
Congressman Ronnie Jackson is going to be on our program this Wednesday.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
live stream it.
Right. We were thinking about recording it, but then we thought, let's just live stream it.
Well, first when his office called, she said we're going to be in town on Wednesday. I'm like, oh, we do Fridays. I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we said yes, sure, we can do it. I called Terry. I wanted to make sure that the tech guy could be here because if not, I'm dead in the water. So I called Terry. Hey, Terry, can we do this at 12:30 on Wednesday? He said I can do that. So call back and so we're gonna have a special
live stream on Wednesday. 12:30-ish, depending on his schedule. Hopefully he'll get here, and his folks will get him here on time.
And so U.S. Congressman Ronnie Jackson will be here.
Yep, there you go.
And then next week, our guest will be Donnie Lee, Superintendent with WFISD.
Yep, and so
done a good job.
Who's done it? Who came into a very difficult situation,
he's done a really good job.
And has been a steady hand there and done a really good job. I agree.
Yep. So, all right, we'll wrap it up there. So, in the immortal words of Mike Hendren, we will see you down the road.